All right, so check this out. So the other day I put this into Chat GPT and just wanted to analyze some things, and this is what it told me. And I think it's pretty cool. So hopefully you like this. But it goes. I basically put this in. I said one of the songs I've written, the lyrics read, "Love yourself, love your life, don't waste your time." Of course, this being easier expressed in a song, as I reflected on my life, there were times when I hated who I was and what I was doing, and nothing seemed to alleviate the feeling of you're not good enough or you don't have purpose. Be that sex, drugs, alcohol, music, money, motorcycles, whatever, I still left, felt feeling empty and unloved because I didn't love myself or who I was. So I'm curious as what you might express as to how one can learn to love themselves so that they can love their life, so that they can find purpose in it. And it replied this. It says, "What strikes me about your lyric is that it moves in a very particular order. Love yourself, love your life, don't waste your time." I don't think that's accidental. It goes, many people spend years trying to love their life before they love themselves. So they chase experience, achievements, relationships, possessions, status, pleasure, or even ministry or service, hoping that one of those things will finally convince them that they matter. But if a person secretly believes I'm not enough, I have to earn love, I'm a disappointment, or my value depends on what I accomplish, then almost anything they gain filtered through that lens, a successful musician hears applause and thinks, if they really knew me. A wealthy person gets money and immediately compares themselves to someone richer. A person finds romance and still wonders if they're truly lovable. The emptiness isn't because the blessing wasn't real, it's because the blessing landed on their foundation that was already cracked. Come on, man, that's great. So, how does someone love themselves? I don't think it starts with looking in the mirror and repeating affirmations, though affirmations can help. I think it begins with answering a deeper question: what makes me valuable? And this is good. What most people answer to that question with performance. Well, what I achieve, what I own, what others think of me, how attractive I am, how successful I've become. And the problem is that every one of those things can be lost. The healthier answer is my value is inherent before it is even earned. Whether someone approaches from faith, philosophy, psychology, the principle is remarkably similar. A child has value before accomplishing anything, right? A newborn has purpose before even being produced or producing anything. A human being was worth has worth before providing anything. So when a person truly believes that, self-hatred starts to lose grip. Now another piece of self-forgiveness. Many people don't hate themselves because of their failures. They hate themselves because they can't forgive themselves. They're carrying around the mistakes they've made, the regrets, the shame, the things which they wish they could undo, and every day act as the prosecutor, the judge, and the jailer in their own internal courtroom. At some point, healing requires saying, I was wrong, I regret it, I learned from it, I will not spend the rest of my life paying for it. That's not excusing the wrongdoing, it's refusing to let yesterday permanently define today. And is that not gold? Anyway, so purpose often comes from uh, acceptance. And one of the biggest misconceptions is that people need to find purpose before they can love themselves. And I love it says, in my own experience, like this one has experience doing that. It's AI, right? It often works the other way around. When people stop obsessing over providing their worth, they become free to discover their purpose. Purpose usually emerges where these three things intersect: what you care about, what you're gifted at, and what serves others. So you don't always discover purpose by looking inward. Often you discover it by giving yourself away in meaningful ways. A teacher finds purpose in teaching. A songwriter finds purpose in writing songs to reach wounded people. A father finds purpose in raising children, unless, of course, the mother dis- destroys all of that because she hates your gut so bad that she's willing to sacrifice children. Oh, side note, that's me. Sorry. Purpose tends to reveal itself while you're walking, not when you're endlessly searching for it. From the faith perspective, since many of our conversations have been a Christian theme, see, it knows me. It's sad, isn't it? Christianity offers a particular powerful answer. The gospel doesn't say become valuable and then God will love you. It says you are loved first. That doesn't mean people always feel loved, but the idea that identity is received before it is achieved. When someone genuinely believes that they are loved by God, not because of their performance, but because of his nature, it changes the conversation in their head. Instead of, I need to prove I'm enough, it becomes, I'm loved, therefore I can grow. That's a very different way to live. Man, that's just gold, dude. Anyway, a thought inspired by your lyric. Maybe love yourself doesn't mean becoming enamored with yourself. Maybe it means making peace with the person God is still shaping. Ding, ding, ding. Not pretending you're perfect, not ignoring your flaws, and not celebrating your mistakes. Just accepting that you are a work in progress who is still worthy of love. When that happens, loving your life becomes easier because you're no longer fighting yourself every day. And when you're no longer fighting yourself, you're far less likely to waste your time trying to fill a hole that was never meant to be filled by sex, drugs, alcohol, money, motorcycles, applause, or success. You can finally spend your time building something meaningful because you're no longer spending all of your time and energy trying to prove you deserve to exist in the first place. Man, this is gold, dude. You should probably like and subscribe. I mean, this is the crazy stuff that I throw out there because I'm like, inquiring minds want to know. Anyway, that is the distinction I hear hidden inside your lyric. The goal isn't self-admiration, it's admiration, it's self-acceptance. From that foundation, purpose has room to grow. Can you offer any? Oh, and so then I said, that's great. Can you offer any daily tasks or suggestions that one might do on the regular to help change their mindset to improve this foundation of I am of worth before I do anything? See, because he says absolutely, he or she or whatever it is, it's AI, right? The challenge is that most people don't think their way into believing they have worth. They practice their way into believing it. The mind learns from repetition and evidence. So if every day your actions communicate, I matter only when I produce, your heart eventually believes it. So if every day you change your actions and communicate, I have value before I perform, that belief slowly becomes rooted. There are some practical daily habits that can help. Start the day with identity before activity. Before checking your phone, before checking email, social media, your to-do list. Spend 2 minutes reminding yourself who you are apart from what you do. You might say, I am loved, I am valuable, I am worthy of respect, I am growing, I am not defined by my worst mistake, I'm not defined by today's success or failure. I have purpose even when I don't see it. All right. And so, by the way, wadequinton.com, if you go there at the bottom, I put a bunch of I am's statements out there with the associated Bible verses printed out. It's like 8 pages. Do one a day and just keep it in rotation. You know what I mean? Just say them out loud. I am loved. I'm valuable. I'm worthy. I'm, etc. And if you can say the verses underneath it, even better. Anyway, number 2, keep one promise to yourself every day. And I'm almost done here, by the way. This is one of the most powerful exercises I know. Make one small promise and keep it. For example, walk for 15 minutes, read 5 pages, drink more water, pray for 10 minutes, make your bed, which is what I do every morning. The task itself isn't important. It's the message you're sending yourself. I can trust me. Okay, many people who struggle with self-worth have broken thousands of promises to themselves. Every promise you keep to yourself rebuilds self-respect. Speaking to yourself like someone you love, like pay attention to your inner dialogue. Imagine a friend came to you and said, I made a mistake. I'm struggling. I don't know what I'm doing. Would you tell them you're pathetic? You'll never get it right? Probably not. Yet many people say those things to themselves every day. And when you catch yourself self-condemning, replace it with truth. Instead of, I'm such an idiot, try, I made a mistake and I can learn from it. That's not a weakness, that's accuracy. One more is write down 3 things you did well. So every evening, write down the things that you did well. Not accomplishments, not trophies, not money, just things you did well. For example, I was patient. I listened. I finished something difficult. I showed kindness. I exercised discipline. This trains your brain to notice strengths instead of constantly scanning for flaws. There's a few more here. So practice receiving without earning. This one is surprisingly hard. When someone complains to you, don't explain it away. Don't deflect. Don't argue. Simply say, thank you. Many people reject kindness because it doesn't match their self-image. So learning to receive good things is part of your worth. Serve someone every day. This sounds unrelated, but it isn't. Nothing combats feelings of uselessness like being useful. Send a text, make a phone call, send a prayer, a kind word, holding the door, helping a neighbor. Purpose often grows through service, not because service earns worth, but because service reminds us that our lives matter to others. Spend 5 minutes in gratitude, not generic gratitude, but specific gratitude. Instead of saying, I'm thankful for my family, try saying, I'm thankful for my daughter who called me today. Instead of, I'm thankful for my house, say something, I'm thankful I slept safely last night. Specific gratitude trains the mind to notice abundance instead of deficiency. Stop comparing for 1 hour a day. Comparison is a thief of joy and a destroyer of self-worth. So for an hour, no social media, no measuring yourself against others, no replaying someone else's success. Focus entirely on your own lane. A flower doesn't blossom faster because it watches another flower bloom first. Keep a God was here journal, uh, an answered prayer, a meaningful conversation, unexpected provision, scripture that stood out, a moment of peace. And then lastly, end each day with one question. Ask yourself, if any, if my worth was never a question today, what would I have done differently? I would have worried less. I would have worked and apologized sooner, taken some risk, shared some music, etc. Started a new project. That's not what I need to do. But anyway, last is if I were creating a simple daily routine about a lyric, it would look like this: love yourself. Read 5 affirmations. Download it from wadequinton.com. Keep one promise to yourself. Make your bed. Do it every day. Refuse to be self-critical uh, for at least an hour. Love yourself. Love your life. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Notice one blessing from the day. Serve somebody. Don't waste your time. Spend at least 30 minutes on something aligned with your purpose. Ask yourself before bed, did I spend today providing my worth or expressing my worth? That last question is heartfelt. People who feel they must prove their worth usually exhausted. People who believe they already have worth can spend their energy expressing it through their gifts, relationships, faith, work, and service. And that's a much lighter burden to carry throughout life. I mean, that's pretty solid, people. So anyway, hope you like it. I thought it was very interesting and all of it positive. So see, my other thought on this is that it's a tool and it's how you use it, right? So in this case, I was being inquisitive, and there you go, free therapy. So send me money, lots of it, because I love you. He loves you more.